That's a nice smile you got there. All right. So once again, Kenny and Bone, obviously 100th episode. We're pretty excited. It's a big deal.
Big deal for us.
We've met a lot of really cool people along the way. And I just wanted to bring one more of those guests back to see us because this is a relationship that we kind of fostered through our Browns backers interviews, and it continues to grow. We love seeing Cliff. So without further ado, Cliff with the Mile High Browns backers.
Thank you very much. I hear that some presidents don't get cheers and stuff, but
we just corrected that in this episode.
We just made amends to the North Jersey folks.
Yeah, they were on this week as well. We did a take two. I think they appreciated it. So,
well, I'm happy for them at this point. Thank you for the cheer. I appreciate it, guys. It's great to be here.
You should let them know that you now have 2 cheers.
I do. When am I going to get the trifecta?
I don't know. Probably the next time the Browns play Denver. So are they on the schedule for a 3rd year in a row?
If we'll probably end up in Vegas. I mean, there's no way we're going to pass Cincinnati in the standings. But if we could, we would come here. But we will probably go to Vegas, because we're going to finish last and Vegas is going to finish last.
There's no catching anyone at this point.
We love finishing last.
I mean, let's be honest. Even if we won out, it would still take a pretty big miracle for us to catch Cincinnati at this point. So, but yeah, I mean, before we get into the Browns and that, Cliff, how are things going out west? How are things going in Denver and with the club? And what do you guys have going on this year?
We've done our very best to keep the things positive and continue to drive our raffle sales and stuff. And we've done a couple of different things to try to drive those raffles. One day we did back in mid-November. Can't even remember which game it was at this point, but we did a WMMS tribute. We were very fortunate at Stoney's to have a DJ, and so the whole day we played nothing but classic rock. WMMS was kind enough to send us a couple of banners that we were able to raffle off and stuff. So that was a super day. And then we for the pregame when the Browns played here, which we had to have on a Sunday because we played on a Monday after Thanksgiving Day weekend, the last possible day that you could play after a Thanksgiving Day weekend. We had a great time, and it was rather ironic that the Thursday night before was the game against Pittsburgh, and at the end of the 3rd quarter, in walks Ruben Drones.
Nice.
So Ruben lives here in Denver. He's associated with the Broncos alumni and stuff. But he walked in and was just amazed to find on that Thursday night 75 Browns fans at Stoney's. And he came back for our pregame party where we played a solid game of Family Feud. And that's how people were able to purchase their raffle tickets that got them the opportunity to come up on stage and answer questions that we had developed and stuff, or survey questions. We surveyed 100 Mile High Browns backers and got their best answers to this question.
Yeah, it's so. Was there any zingers in there? The just the ones that stuck out where they gave absolute ridiculous answers?
Not really. I think that the best question that we probably asked for the night. There were several. There were 5 questions that we did for the night, and the big one for the big prize, which was a donated prize from Red Rocks Country Club, our logo monogrammed or embroidered onto a camo golf bag. Came to us from Ronnie D, the golf pro at Red Rocks.
Great name.
That survey question was dome or no dome. And the number 1 answer was no dome. And Mark nailed it, and he walked away with a great embroidered golf bag and stuff. So
y'all are weird out there, man. We want the dome, but that's just us. That's a personal preference. To each their own.
Personally, I want the dome too. I want to be able to come back. I want to be able to come back and stay warm and enjoy a game inside a dome, and then scurry over to a hotel room somewhere close.
Yeah. Listen, I got a quick Family Feud story that I just want to get out there, get off my chest.
Oh.
I have an embarrassing Family Feud answer that I gave one time. My work does Family Feud they haven't done it in a couple of years, but it was for like 3 or 4 years in a row. They did it. I work for.
They quit it after you gave your embarrassing.
No. That actually made them want to keep doing it more. So here was the question. I'll let it hang there for a second and let you guys answer. But the question was, if the world were to end tomorrow, what would you blow all of your money on tonight? Kenny?
Strippers.
Okay, that was number one. Cliff, you got an answer here?
Gummy bears.
That was not up there. Bone, do you have an answer for us? This is surveyed people, so it doesn't have to be what you would blow your money on.
Oh. Yeah, well, what people would blow their money on.
Yeah.
Like Wagyu steak.
That was not up there either. So you guys I wish you guys were there with me. My answer, I buzzed in, and this was the quick one. Like, we were both up there against each other, and I said a horse. And so my thinking, and obviously you don't have time
Did you mean whores?
No, but yeah. No, my thinking was that this was like an apocalypse type situation. Like not like the world actually ended, but like I would need to get around.
Like Walking Dead?
Yeah, like this all went through my head in a matter of like half a second, and I said a horse, and everybody laughed at me. So it was pretty embarrassing. I redeemed myself, although everybody laughed at me again. I thought this was a good answer. Later in the game, they said, "What piece of clothing can you wear no matter what size you are?" And I said a scarf. But everybody thought that was silly, and it wasn't an answer on the board, so I was pretty pissed off about that. But
that's a great
like
answer.
socks was one of them. Like there was I don't remember like a hat, like some of the other. I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, I said a horse for the world ending.
Let me show you real quick. I don't know if you guys can see it back there. There's a big old golf tournament size check that on Wednesday
made out to Burning River Sportscast.
It says Freedom Service Dogs of America on it, who train service dogs, and they are concentrating on getting those service dogs to vets at this point. Nice. And on Wednesday, we're going to hand that check to them for $1,750. And this past Friday, we donated $1,750 to Senior Support Services.
Awesome. Nice. So regardless of the Browns having a terrible season, you guys continue to do the Lord's work out there in Denver.
I'm not sure if it's the Lord's work, but it's it's the
Cliff's
right
work.
thing to do.
It's Cliff's work, yeah. I thought that was the surprise. 100th episode, we made a check out to Burning River Sportscast for being so awesome. I thought that's where we were going with this.
He was flying us out to see him.
Yeah. I mean, what you guys are doing is good too.
Noble causes.
Yeah. I guess that's okay.
We're doing our best.
Yeah, and we really appreciate you guys, and obviously Mile High Browns backers, but the rest of the Browns backers as well, doing everything that you guys do. We just talked about this earlier in the episode. The numbers add up between all the different groups that are out there getting donations, raising money for all these different charities, whether it's $1,750 here, $1,750 there, $2,000, $6,000, $1,000, $500, $300. It doesn't matter. It all adds up.
$10. It all matter. It's all fantastic, and I'm pretty darn sure, based on what I saw this past weekend, that we're the only football team of the NFL that's doing anything like that around. Yeah. I'm sure there's a couple that are doing it, but as a group, there's nobody else out there doing it.
Not at that level. No. There's a couple other groups out there, and I'll give them a quick shout. Like the Bills Mafia is the one that comes to mind. There are Bills bars all over the place, but nowhere near the scale of the Browns backers.
No. Absolutely not. And they just smash tables. So that's
yeah. It's pretty fun to watch, though. Have you ever seen that?
They donate a lot of firewood.
I think that Browns backers in the Muni Lot should pick up table smashing. I'm a fan. So.
Let's smash something different. Let's smash lamps or something. Leg lamps.
Yeah, I'm in. Those are expensive.
Oh no, that's
pumpkins?
As sacred
Smashing
as the
pumpkins?
Guardian on the bridge.
Pumpkins could be good. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Well, real quick, Cliff. Unfortunately, we're running out of time, but I do want to ask you just what's your take? This is consolidate this into one big long answer for me. The take on the Browns this year, what you think is going to happen in the offseason as far as changes, front office, players, coaches, otherwise, and if you think we win any games the rest of the season.
It was pretty obvious from day one for that against the Cowboys that it was just going to be the shit show that we've seen all this year. And there's no icing on the cake. Yeah, that Thursday night against Pittsburgh, that was a fun game to be a part of and watch and stuff. I still don't know how we beat Baltimore. And thank God we got Jacksonville early. So it was obvious that it was not right. Something was not right. And unfortunately, I don't have a time machine to go back and never make that trade, acquisition, whatever you want to call it, make it happen. The son of a gun had already had more baggage than Rose on the Titanic. And it was just absolutely ridiculous that we pursued that when we had our quarterback. And it hurts every time that I see that Baker has had an outstanding game down in Tampa and stuff. And it just hurts because he should be a Cleveland Brown right now. That's all there is to it. And we could have had him at a third of the cost. What we're going to do next year, I have no idea how we're going to handle it. But there is an example here in Denver that you can jettison and can deal with a cap hit and go get the quarterback that you want to get and start fresh. And guess what? The Broncos are going to the playoffs this year. And, they ate, granted, it wasn't with the cap hit that we're going to face, but it was a pretty big hit. And then somehow that guy goes to another team, our biggest rival, and is having a pretty successful season himself. Yeah. But I don't see it. You can see it in his eyes. He is not a leader. He is not, he cares only about himself. And that's, in a nutshell, that's it.
Well, I think it's no more evident than now when, since he's been injured, he's not in the building. Yeah. He doesn't congratulate his team on social media or anything after they win. He doesn't give pep talks. And I'd be fine even with just like tweets, like, "Oh, it's a tough one today, guys, but keep your heads up," like whatever. I'm fine with even just that. He doesn't even give that. And then this past week, after they got just absolutely humped by the Steelers, he puts on his social media pictures of him and his girlfriend or fiance or whatever she is down there. And where were they? Like Barbados or somewhere, like somewhere just on a beach. Yeah.
Somewhere on a beach. Look what I'm doing while I'm rehabbing and trying to become trying to recover from what is mostly a career-ending injury, and somehow, some way we got to figure out to not take that cap hit like it is. But, but I still have fun on Sunday, fun day.
Hell yes. So last part of that question, how many games are we going to win the rest of the season?
Let's see. We've got, we might have a shot at Miami as long as they move it, which we know will happen. They'll move it to a Sunday afternoon. I think we might have a shot against Miami. But against Cincinnati and Baltimore at the end, we're no shot.
Yeah, we'll get into this in the show, but we're I've been saying all show long my prediction is 3-14. So
yeah, real quick too. I just wanted to Cliff, you made a really good point there because we've been talking a lot just around like, gosh, like this isn't rocket science, man. Like I know a lot of people try to make it out to be like this is some different level of thinking to try and create a successful culture and winning team. And I've pointed a lot to Washington this year, right? And just bringing in Dan Quinn and they get the rookie quarterback that fits their system. They brought in a bunch of new faces, but your point about Denver is another really strong one, another perfect case for it doesn't matter what is stacked against you. Like get the right coach and find a quarter. It doesn't have to be the best quarterback in the draft. Like as long as it's a guy that fits what you're willing to do, what you want to do on offense, you can build a team and an offense around him and like start plugging in the rest of the pieces as you go. And you can go from being a bad team to a good team or a playoff team in 1 year. It's not that this is unheard of. And I think people just like, even talk about the draft this year. It's like we have this conversation about, oh, well, there's not enough good quarterbacks in this draft. Bo Nix was like the 6th quarterback taken off the board. Like,
yes,
and he's done okay.
Well, it's just like every year people forget, like, let's point to the GOAT, Tom Brady. Like, he wasn't the best quarterback in the draft,
right.
But guess what? They found him and they put him in a system that worked well with his skill set.
Right.
Exactly. That's what, so many times over the last 100 years, we've taken quarterbacks, gotten quarterbacks, acquired quarterbacks and tried to put them into the coach's system when it wasn't his system. That's not how he's got to play. You've got to work around the skill set of your players. And the perfect example was when Butchie Davis and Jeff Garcia. Jeff Garcia is not a drop back quarterback. He's, it doesn't make sense.
You're gonna give me Tim Couch nightmares, Cliff. So come on.
I saw somebody online say that somebody that clearly didn't know football, by the way, went on this big long rant against Deshaun Watson and said he's just as bad as Tim Couch, and I was like, whoa,
like Tim Couch.
Whoa, Tim Couch was not a bad quarterback. He just was a bad system.
Took us to the freaking playoffs.
Exactly.
Nobody freaking remembers that.
Yeah. The number one. The first mistake in a long line of quarterback mistakes was jettisoning Tim Couch for Kelly Holcomb.
That's what I got
bingo.
My Tim Couch college card here.
You probably can't even see this, but that's a Tim Couch Kentucky card right there. So
there you go, Tim Couch Kentucky.
Yeah, that guy.
That where we're playing this Sunday.
That is what we're playing.
Yeah, we are playing in Kentucky,
the Bluegrass State.
Yeah.
Northern Kentucky.
Jeez, I actually opened up. You'll appreciate this, Cliff. I opened up our interview earlier with the Sunday Lucky Dogs and said, nobody in that town is an Ohio citizen except for Browns fans.
Except for Browns backers,
right?
So
we don't claim any of the rest of them.
Yeah. Go back to Kentucky. But listen, Cliff, we do have to wrap this up. I wish we could stay on and talk to you all day. We could, but for show purposes, we can't. So we got to wrap it up. We appreciate you being on for our 100th episode again.
I appreciate you guys asking me to be a part of this. I'm quite honored and stuff. And I look forward to working with you guys and being a part of what you're trying to accomplish and what I think a lot of us want to try and accomplish. And I appreciate you reaching back out and being a part of this. And congratulations on your 100th episode.
You think we got any more in us?
I can't wait to be a part of 200.
There we go.
Hell yeah.
Cliff, we appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks so much.
All right, guys, take care and go Browns.
Go Browns.